Did you know that narcissists are emotional bullies? That's what they are. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how they bully, what their favorite go-to tactics are, and what you can do about it. Hi, I'm Rebecca Zung, and I've been recognized as one of the top 1% of attorneys in the country, and I've written 2 best-selling books, Negotiate Like You Matter and Breaking Free, a step-by-step divorce guide, and I've helped millions of people through this channel go from lives of drama, trauma, and chaos, and I've guided them and supported them into lives of freedom, possibility, and purpose. And I do the same thing for you. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and that way you'll get notified when I upload brand new content, when I go live, when I have events, and all of that, so that you don't miss out on one single step of how to break free from that narcissist in your life. They use a number of tactics to bully you, and the reason why narcissists bully is because it makes them feel better. They want to feel superior. It's really, really important for them to devalue you, make themselves feel better. Some are more overt about it than others, but all narcissists bully. Covert narcissists tend to be a little more underhanded about how they bully, but they all bully in some way, shape, or form, and they all do it in a very manipulative way, a very toxic way, and in a way that devalues you, makes you feel less, makes you feel like you can't do anything right, there's something wrong with you, that they are super powerful, that you can never win against them, and all of that is just to mess with your head psychologically so that they gain control over you, which gives them narcissistic supply. And I have had to deal with a couple of narcissists in my life, as I've talked about, and so I understand this, and they were able to even do it to me after I'd long been a very successful attorney. So if it could happen to me, it can happen to anyone, so I don't want you to feel bad about that. Don't beat yourself up over it. It's just a matter of undoing those neuronal patterns that they created in your brain. But it is so easy, it's so possible, it is, you know, it really is actually so much more possible than what you think, because narcissists, the not so secret are actually the most scared little people on the planet. They do not want you to know that. It truly is like the Wizard of Oz, where they build this whole Oz thing that looks so amazing and so powerful and it's so scary, but they really are that little scared, feeble man behind the curtain that really is what is actually lurking in there. You just have to understand that. But so when you see these emotional bullying tactics, what I want you to do is be able to see them for what they are and go, oh, okay, I understand what's going on here. And start to see it as a third party. Start to see it almost as an observer and understand that that's what's happening, and just notice it, see it for what it is, but not take it on. Almost be, you know, like, whether you're a man or a woman, almost be like Wonder Woman with those bracelets, and, you know, they're coming at you, but you're just, you know, repelling them. So one of the ways that they do it is through gaslighting. And gaslighting is a tactic that they use to make you think that you're crazy. You know, me and the boys are going away for the weekend. Oh, when did you decide you were doing that? Oh, we talked about it and you agreed. And you think, oh, I don't remember having that conversation. You know, you never had that conversation, but that's what they do. They say, or they'll have a conversation with you about money, and they say that they're going to take care of paying a bill. And you say, you know, I thought you said you were going to take care of it. No, what I said was that I would put money in the account, that you would take care of it. You know, they're just constantly changing things around so that the conversation that you thought you were having isn't that conversation, and you're constantly trying to pin it down. No, this is what you said. And even if you show them an email or show them a text and say, no, you said this is what you said. Oh, but that's you know that's not what that said. You know what I was referring to. I was referring to something else. And so you're constantly, in this mind game with them, and it actually makes you feel devalued, because you start to question your own reality, and years of that can make you think that you're crazy. And I have a whole video on gaslighting tactics that narcissists use, and so if you want to know more about gaslighting tactics, definitely check out my video on gaslighting tactics. Another thing that narcissists do is they project. If you try to call them out on their behavior, they try to say, no, it was somebody else. It was somebody else's fault, somebody else's responsibility. Somebody else screwed up. It was not me. It was you, or it was some other person that was involved in somehow. And so they emotionally bully you that way, because they project and say it was you. Another thing that they do is play the victim. I can't believe that you're doing this to me. I can't believe that this is what you're saying after all I've done for you. I can't believe how you're attacking me. I don't like your tone. And so suddenly, whatever it was that you were feeling, even if you just say, when you said that, it hurt my feelings, somehow that becomes an attack on them. I can't believe that you would put it that way. I can't believe you would bring that up now. And it becomes this psychological game again, where now they're the victim, and it becomes all about them, and your feelings, or whatever it was that you wanted to bring up, don't matter. And once again, you feel devalued. So what happens if they feel this happening is they might go silent, do the silent treatment, they might withhold sex, they might just start insulting you, they might devalue you, they might just explode. And that's another form of emotional bullying, is just exploding on you, having their narcissistic rage come flying out, so that now you're afraid of what they're going to do. And they might start threatening things like, I'm going to call the police, or I'm going to file for divorce, or I'm going to tell everybody that you're so terrible, or whatever it is. These threats start flying around. And so, they want you to be scared. They want you to start begging them. Oh, please don't do that. Please don't call the police. Please don't file for divorce. Let's not do that to the children. Please don't scream and yell. I'll do whatever you want. Just stop that. Or they might start crying. That's another form of emotional bullying that they have, is like they start to cry and play this massive victim, so that you're now having to deal with that. And so what happens over the long haul is that you feel like you're walking on eggshells. And if you feel right now that you're walking on eggshells, I want to see in the comments, walking on eggshells. And that's a good book, by the way. If any of you haven't check out that book, there is a good book called Walking on Eggshells, and we'll make sure that we drop a link to that below. And it's all about what life is like when you're dealing with somebody who is, afflicted with either narcissistic personality disorder or some other personality disorder that constantly makes you feel like you have no idea who you're going to be dealing with, what you're going to be dealing with, and that emotional bullying over time just causes this trauma. And one of the people in my Slay program actually referred to it as scrambled eggs for brains, because you just feel like you're constantly, in this toxic stew, and you don't know what's going on, and you're afraid. And I've had so many people come into my office on the first meeting and say, you have to be strong, because he's going to, do all these things, and it's very intimidating, and he's super charming, or she's super charming, or she will be able to fake out everybody and the other lawyer, and nobody's going to believe me because the other person is so good at what they do. And I want you to know that a lot of that is really just what they have trained you to believe. They want you to think that they're so powerful, that everyone else is lined up against you, and that you have no say in this matter. That's what they want you to believe. But I'm here to tell you that you can turn this around. You can shift that dynamic. You can make changes, and baby steps will get you to right the ship so that you finally feel like you're on the offensive for a change and not constantly on the defensive, dealing with this emotional bullying that you've been living with. And narcissists really are actually very scared little creatures. Inside, there's this little thing that lives inside of them that's really super scared. And everything that they do is to build a big house around that, build this big fortress around that, so that everyone else thinks that they're so powerful and so scary and so intimidating, because that feeds their incessant need for narcissistic supply. And if you're getting ready to negotiate with a narcissist, make sure to grab my free Crush My Negotiation prep worksheet. Do not walk into a negotiation without it. You need to have tools. You need to be ready. You need to be feeling strong, and you need to have your arguments ready to go. And my worksheet will help you do that. You just get it at winmynegotiation.com. And if you like this video, give it a like, share it so that other people can have access to this information and resources, and make sure that you've subscribed and you've hit that notification bell. And if you are feeling isolated, you're feeling alone, you're dealing with flying monkeys, you're dealing with gaslighting, the whole thing, it's like craziness, and you think, oh my God, I don't have anybody to talk to about this. No one else understands. I have a free private Facebook group where everybody understands. Come join us in it. It's called Narcissist Negotiators with Rebecca Zung. And we'll drop links to all this stuff below, including a link to the book, Walking on Eggshells, if you want to check that out as well. I am Rebecca Zung. I'm so glad that you stopped by my channel. Remember, today's a great day to start negotiating your best life. I'll see you in the next video.